It's been a long time for me being up here, but God bless everybody.
Bless.
You all be seated. I'm gonna say a quick verse, and then I'm gonna get into the theme of my speech today. I'm going to read. Go with me. John 16:33. If you want to go and read it with me along. Are you happy to say amen?
Amen. 16:33. The Gospel of John 16:33.
Hallelujah.
And you have to say amen.
Amen.
You read this in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
And these things have I spoken unto you, that in my yea me have peace in the world. Yet he have tribulations, but be of good cheer, and I have overcome the world.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
My theme today is a voice in the storm.
Amen.
When you hear a voice in the storm, what you think? You hear a voice and you hear a storm. A storm, what can it be? There's things that, how a storm is created, you think of the topic when you say a voice in the storm. So that being said, a storm, how is it created? I searched up how a storm is created. And I was intrigued about how storms are created, how they, when they build up, there's a lot of things to it. It's not just ordinary out of the blue. So that being said, they're saying that storms are created when a center of low pressure develops with the system of a high pressure surrounding it. This combination of opposing forces can create winds and results in the formation of a storm clouds. As air moves up away from the ocean surface, it leaves less air near the down surface. So that being said, that's how a storm would be created. So from that being created, now it can develop into a stronger thing where it'll be different kind of storms. There's different kind of storms. There's high winds, there's hail, there's wildfires, there's thunderstorms, there's hurricanes, there's tornadoes. So all of these things that the world that we have, that storms can be created from. So being that saying, the theme of the voice in the storm, to me, how I define this, I said the definition of the eye of the storm is to be in the eye of the storm, to be at the center of it, or deeply involved in an especially difficult and stressful or hectic situations or period of time. The eye or the center of the storm is surrounded by the strongest winds. So that being said, no matter what you're going through in the storm, God is with you. You know,
Amen.
No matter how many tribulations and any storm that's against you, no matter how hard you think it is that you're going through, don't worry that God is in the midst of it all.
Amen.
He's always there with you. He's always one step ahead. When you think that he's not there and you're calling him out, like, why is all this stuff happening to me? You know, I'm going to church. I'm trying to do the right thing. And there's still things that are happening. I'm in the world and things are still happening because you just have to have faith. You know, he takes away every obstacle, everything. And when you have the last bit, you know, of hope, when you have nothing left and you give up, you know, that's when he comes and steps in because you use all your resources. You have nothing left. Wow. So that's when he comes in and say, you know what? I'm your God. I'm here to show you that I'm the way, the truth, and the light. That I will set you free. Can I get an amen? Amen. Glory, thank you. So that being said, we're going to get into the word right here that I got. And if you want to follow me to 14 of Matthew, chapter 14, 31.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Lord. Amen. Lord, amen.
So I'm going to read Matthew 14, 24. I'm going to read verses 24 to 32.
Amen.
Matthew chapter 14.
Yeah, 24 to 32. You have it?
Amen.
Amen.
Glory. Okay, so, but the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a ghost." And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer. It is, I do not be afraid." And Peter answered him and said, Lord, and if it's you, command me to come to you on the water. So he said, come. And when Peter had come down onto the boat, he walked onto the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid and beginning to sink. And he cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and called him and said to him, Oh, you little faith, why did you doubt? And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. So that being said, no matter how the storm, Peter was on the boat. He was on the boat with all the other disciples, and there was a big storm. They're in the middle of the ocean now. You know, you have no support, anything like that. You know, the boat goes down. That's it. You're going down with it. There's nobody there with you. You know, it's just the ocean, the big. You don't know how this storm was going. So now that the storm is going on, everybody's saying, "Oh, it's a ghost." There's no ghost. There's the God that's there. And that one person, Peter, everybody else seeing the storm, they was observing, you know. They was too busy on their problems, just like us. We're too busy on our problems, the storms that we have. When we're not focusing on God, God's saying, let's look at me. Don't look at your problems, you know, because I'm here for you. You know, so when Peter took that faith, he went and he walked up to the water. He walked on water. Can you imagine that? You walking on water? Like you seeing God and you walking to him. You know, you're not visualizing that you're walking on water, because if you start doing that, just like he did, he started to sink. Amen. So now that you see that God is showing you what he can do, and you over here, you lost track, you lost sight of what you're doing. So now you started to sink. You start to get back into that. So now if you think like a rocket ship, what a rocket ship does, a rocket ship, it goes all the way up. So just like that, all the problems and everything is falling off when they're going up in a rocket ship. All the problems are coming off, and now it's a new you. It's a new you, because you know you're reaching all the way to the top where you want the blessings, you want God, you want everything. So you're shaking off everything that you don't want. That there's nothing there for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the gist of it, of everything of that I love, because the storm is an I. So God is the center of the storm. He's the calmness, you know. There's everything going around, but God is that calmness. You know? Amen. And I just love that passage. Peter, he had that faith, he had that anointing that God gave him. He said, you know, to walk on water, and none of the disciples seen him, you know, because it was just at that moment it was God and Peter that he was there walking on some water, you know, and he had that faith that God, you can take me out of my troubles. God, if that's you, then, you know, command me to come to you. And God did exactly that, and he obeyed God. So that's how he was able to walk on water. And that's my theme and everything for today. And God bless you all.
God bless you.